This time on Watchers of Tomorrow, beware of alien spies.
Hello, welcome to Watchers of Tomorrow, the sci-fi review and critique show that's going to sexually assault you, but it's fine because it's a joke and you're a man. We'll get into it later, but it's fine. I'm probably mostly a man, so I can make that joke.
Still,
I am Gepwin, and I'm joined as always by my friend and co-host, Dr. Izix.
Hi!
And this week, we've done it. It's First Contact. We've finished. We're almost done. We've got like 3 movies left.
Yeah, well, 2, because we already did one of them. And, so let's get some Borg action here.
That was really fast and unexpected.
Yeah. We do have Borg action this week, right?
No. I mean, not explicitly. We might have a Romulan spy.
Dun dun dun.
Probably not, though.
Oh, so that's what my stinger about alien spies was all about. Got it. Okay.
So, yeah, of course, this is First Contact 1991, not to be confused with First Contact 1997, 96. For some reason, I was seeing 2 dates.
Yeah, just shit.
I couldn't be bothered to look it up.
Yeah. They all merge together. Years, dates, time itself.
Time is relative. Lunchtime doubly so.
Yes. As well as the nap afterwards.
So this episode is impossible to look up because the movie.
Yes.
So every time I tried to look up stuff, I had to write First Contact. No, the episode. No, really, the episode.
Yeah, the episode. No, not that one. There's no actual Borg here. This is the one about. No, not that one either.
So this episode was written by 15 people. So I'm not mentioning any of them. I'm going to the story person because everybody else is basically a producer.
Yes, yeah. Oh, Joe Manosky and Moore and Pillar were all involved with this, as well as a couple other folks, and yeah.
Yeah, if this was a movie, I would be really nervous about the production of this one.
Who's the story about?
With that level of writers. The story is by Mike Scott Zickrey, who wrote a large number of TV shows in the 80s, 90s, and today.
Yeah.
Standouts include Space Stars and Black Stars and other things with star in the name.
But also Tech War and Space Command.
He also did He-Man and Captain Power and the Soldiers of the Future.
Neat.
And wrote for multiple Star Trek franchises.
And, the real Ghostbusters and Babylon 5 and Mantis and Tech War.
Yeah, all the things. In the early 2000s, he released the Magic Time trilogy of books, and he's been working on a series of crowdfunded movies called Space Command, with Space Command Redemption having released in 2024.
Indeed. I have never heard of this before, but maybe I should change that.
I never heard of it before. I'm going to forget about it the second we record this, and I will continue to never think of it again.
Whoops.
So that's just how my brain works.
Well, it does have Bill Mooney in it, so that's a good, and Robert Picardo, so, and Doug Jones. So, there's some cool people in here that we know, and Mira Furlan was in it for 5 episodes.
It's like Robert Picardo is just doing whatever the fuck he feels like for fun right now, so.
Yeah.
I applaud that in a career.
It's like, I'm kind of migrated into older actor status. I can just kind of do whatever the heck I want. Let's roll with this. I'll be in space again. That's fine.
Now we have the part of the script that is going to take me the majority of the episode because we have guest stars. And in fact,
lots of them.
There's no main crew in this episode. They're there, but the episode is not about them.
Mm-hmm. It's about the people that they're interacting with.
Yeah, so it is all guest stars. It's guest stars all the way down.
So this is kind of like a movie episode.
Yes, it is. So firstly, we have George Coe, who's playing Avel Durkin. They all have weird alien names.
Mm-hmm.
He again is a stage actor. He was in the original Broadway cast of MAME He was later part of the not ready for primetime players who became the original cast of Saturday Night Live. He co-produced a short film called The Dove, which I know most people haven't heard of, but I watched it with my partner's dad, and it is amazing. It is a parody of Swedish art films, and you need to go watch this. It's not that long.
You have my interest here.
Most of the dialogue is made-up Swedish.
So, slightly more coherent than Swedish Chef?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
The most thing I remember is they're usually like carrying around a dead dove. Dead dove.
Dead dove.
And he's been in a ton of films, including Mighty Ducks, and a lot of TV shows that I'm not going to list because I have like 10 people to get through here.
Yes, he's also done some voice acting for those who have played too much Elder Scrolls, like I have for Skyrim especially. He was Tolfdir, and he was looking for his alembic.
Ah, Tolfdir, good old Tolfdir.
Yeah,
I still need to get. I got like a third of the way through the Oblivion remake. I need to go back to that.
I should probably pick that up at some point.
I loved Oblivion. Oblivion was my first like Bethesda game, so I will always love that and Fallout 3, and think all of the other ones were terrible.
Of the ones I've played, I appreciate them for what they are, despite their differences. Even though I might have some favorites here or there, but I'm not going to disparage any of them. But that's just how I am.
Well, they probably are making a reskin of Fallout 3 soon, and I am going to give them money, even though I don't want to.
They've compelled it out of you already.
Yep. Now we have Carolyn Seymour, plays Mirista Yale. Her last name is not important. I don't know when they even say it.
Yeah, it's probably just a credits name.
She began acting on BBC television shows and has a lot of movie and TV appearances, including as a guest star on Space 1999. We've also talked about her before because she was in Contagion, where she played Romulan Commander Terrace, and she will play Romulan Commander otherwise again later.
Yes. In another pretty good episode, so,
She makes a really good Romulan Commander, and she makes a really good disgruntled scientist.
Yeah, so what if she was both at the same time? Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, because this is our headcanon. She's actually a Romulan spy who's trying to ruin things for the Federation.
She's also done a bit of voice work for various Doctor Who stuff of the non-series TV series sort, podcasts and the like.
The radio plays, or the modern radio plays.
She's out there doing stuff.
George, maybe Heron, I'm not sure.
Hearn?
He plays Beryl. He started acting as part of the national tour of Camelot. Later played Sweeney Todd for great performances, and later Sweeney Todd in the concert version, Sweeney Todd in Concert, the TV movie, which is a really, really good version that's on YouTube.
Huh.
It's got Neil Patrick Harris in it.
Nice.
He's also been on a lot of TV shows like Murder, She Wrote and LA Law.
Yeah, Ryan's Hope, Another World.
My autocorrector made me write Burger, She Wrote. Which I guess is a Bob Burgers Murder, She Wrote parody episode.
I would like to see that. Oh, he was also in Sneakers. Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember Sneakers.
It's like it's a group of like sort of hacker sort of folks of various sorts. Think they're folks that are usually hired to break into banks to test their security, but then they get involved in something else entirely.
Oh, that sounds interesting. I could see that working. No, I just got the Murder, She Wrote reggae song stuck in my head.
Excellent.
And we have Michael Ensign. Or Inkson. I hate last names. I'm sorry. It's the dyslexia. Playing
That's fine.
Krola. You've probably seen him as the hotel manager in Ghostbusters. I thought it was very, very funny that he was in a weird 80s movie called The Rise of the Titanic, where the Titanic was found to be carrying like super nuclear material, so they had to drudge it up during the Cold War.
It's like uranium-2.
Yeah.
What, you mean to like 60 or something like that? No,
uranium-2.
It's uranium-2.
Don't go near this.
Yes.
But then later he was one of the crew members in the 1997 Titanic movie. So he's been in all the Titanic movies.
Yeah, there's been a lot of Titanic movies, oddly enough. Some of them even animated.
Yeah, those are bad. Those are all bad. I just watched a video recapping those.
Yes. Someone else who is in Murphy Brown, and he'll be in Voyager as well.
Yeah, he's one of even with the makeup, I spent the entire movie going, I've seen this guy. Where have I seen this guy?
He does kind of have one of those faces, and also in his costume for this episode, the glasses, he actually reminds me of someone from a classic Doctor Who adventure, but a different person playing him, so, because he's not that old.
And finally, fittingly, because she gets the and also featuring credit, Babe Newworth playing Lanelle. She started acting on stage, had a impressive career there with many like stage things. She was also in movies like Jumanji. She is here because at the time she was playing Lilith Stiernan Crane on Cheers for the comedy stunt casting.
Yep. So we want people from Cheers to come over and watch some Star Trek, but so we're going to have the same actress come over and have a different role, and it's going to result in some really kind of pointless awkwardness here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did not have to have this in the story at all, as we'll get to.
It's like the door wasn't locked. Riker, you could have just left.
We're getting ahead of ourselves. Nobody knows what's going on yet, so we're speaking gibberish.
But I like gibberish.
So we begin our story in an alien hospital where they're bringing in a man who was hit in the head during a riot. The doctors, who are all ridgy head aliens with no fingers, keep finding irregularities. Like his heart is in his chest where his digestive system is supposed to be. He also has toes, and he even has like fingers on his hands, which is so weird.
Yeah, this is weird. It's like his organs are in the wrong place, and he doesn't have the right number of bones. And what's up with these toenails?
What is he? What is he even? And then we pan out to see that it's Riker with some head ridges glued on.
Dang it, Riker. Why did you have to go check out the zoot suits? I'm going to do that joke anytime there's mention of a riot.
There's a riot. Yeah.
Yes.
I watched the Todd in the Shadows on that recently, and it made me realize that I'd actually like not heard that song before for some reason.
Huh.
Like I'd heard of it. I'd heard the name Zoot Suit Riot, and I'd heard the Weird Al version endlessly. But for some reason, I've never actually heard the song Zoot Suit Riot.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I don't know how I missed it.
Yeah, it's catchy and very absurd.
So later, Riker wakes up to find hospital administrator Burrell. Riker explains that he is from a faraway city. There's a guy named Revis. It's fine. Don't worry about it. He also has a lot of genetic birth defects that make him look weird and have his organs in the wrong place.
Yeah, I'm just all messed up inside, Let me go and go my own doctor. Yeah.
Yeah, his own personal doctor would be more familiar with this case. So it's fine. We can go, oh no, she's on sabbatical. Sorry. Why did I even mention that? Burrell brings out a phaser that they found on Riker. He's able to convince him it's a toy. But unfortunately, they also didn't find his little gold pen that he would be able to use to get out of this situation.
Drat. Petty theft strikes again.
In the hallway, the assistant doctor, administrator, something or other, thinks Riker is lying, that he's an alien, and they've been doing space flights, and maybe they've attracted some unwanted attention. And Burrell tells him to shut up because they need to take care of patients, and don't spread this thing around, you stupid, stupid man.
Yeah, what's it more likely to be? A weird genetic mutant or a space alien? One that has 2 legs, 2 arms, just like us.
Yeah, that'd be weird. On, that'd be so weird. Yeah. You know how likely it'd be that we would find aliens that like look basically like us, but without head ridges and fingers?
Yeah, it'd be like running into aliens that, have 2 legs, 2 arms, and a face on their head, but like really big ears or pointed ears or like, different sorts of head ridges. That'd just be absurd.
So now we are in the planet's Capitol building or something. Their head of state, Durkin, is getting an update on space stuff from Marista, who's in charge of their space program. She's ready to start work on their first ever warp drive. They're going to be ready to test in 10 months or so.
Nice.
But
Krolla... You don't even have to You don't even have to have like a, atomic horror first. That's nice.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, we don't know what they had before now, but
true.
It doesn't look like they're recovering from a massive world war.
No, you see, Durkin got his position here because he took over the rest of the world through, non-atomic means. Just stabbing everybody, personally.
But Corolla, who's the head of internal security, and I don't know why he's in this meeting, thinks they are moving too fast and need to be traditional, by which he means don't change or do anything.
I think Kroll is just paranoid in general, so, someone's having a meeting with the Chancellor? I gotta be there,
yes.
For security reasons.
Durkin is progress-minded. Apparently he did a lot of social reforms and made things better. And Kroll's like, how dare you have done that? We're very traditional people. I guess traditional means starving in the gutter or something, which I guess for a lot of people it does, even in America.
Yeah. It's like, what do you mean universal health care? Oh, we got to keep with our traditional ways of being, price gouged all the time.
So Durkin goes, yep, go ahead. Warp flight it is. Cool.
Awesome. Yeah.
Later, Ministra is working when Picard and Troy just beam into her office.
Well, that's not something you see every day. Am I hallucinating?
I do like the double take. Like, I don't think it's even wrong. It's just kind of funny. It's like, oh, sparkles. Wait, what the...
That's not supposed to be there.
Like, yeah, totally normal sparkles. Wait a minute. They're here because their planet is about to enter the galactic spacefaring community. And they're here to introduce them to that community so that they don't just, randomly run into each other.
Yeah, well, this is a nice thing to do. You're almost to warp flight. You seem to be getting the theory and technology sorted out. And, we just want to give you a little heads up so you know what to expect out there.
So they take her to the Enterprise to show her the planet from space. She's very excited because she used to dream in the planetarium as a little girl. She's always been very sciencey and spacefaring, etc., etc. Picard tells her that they've been observing the planet, and also they've had observation teams on the planet, and they may have lost one, and Riker is gone.
Oh, well, that's terrible. So you're saying that somewhere, just on our planet somewhere, there's a guy that shouldn't be.
Yep. And we're really hoping we can find him before it makes a big problem.
So do you have any idea where to start, maybe?
Nope. No one knows where to look for anyone ever.
Yeah.
She promises to help, but spoilers, she does nothing.
Yeah, well, maybe she's too busy with warp flight,
She also recommends that they don't tell anyone else, because Durkin will probably be okay, but he would assign Corolla, and Corolla cannot be trusted to do anything, ever.
Yeah, he does seem a bit weird. Durkin, you should have stabbed him too.
Back in the hospital, Durkin is upset that he keeps overhearing everyone talk about aliens. He goes to challenge Riker because they checked out his backstory and none of it makes any sense or holds up in any way. And if he doesn't tell them the truth, these rumors are going to keep getting worse and spreading, and it's going to be hard to keep him protected from the weird angry mob that is forming.
Yeah. Usually I'm all for the big unruly mob, but this time it might be a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, it wasn't Durkin. I said that was Durkin. That was the hospital administrator.
Yeah,
Burl. I got my alien names mixed up.
Yeah, we're getting used to these new characters here. They're going to be we're going to be with them for the rest of the series, right?
Yeah. They are entering the intergalactic space community. Interstellar, I guess, not intergalactic yet.
Well, we'll get to intergalactic someday. Just not anytime soon in terms of Star Trek.
So then Durkin is interrupted by Ministra, who wants to introduce him to her friends. And he goes, I always have time to meet your friends. Who are these aliens?
Oh, yeah. So this is a little weird. I should maybe be freaking out a little bit more, but this is fine. Everything's fine.
They take Durkin to the Enterprise as well, so they can talk. And after a tour, they head to the ready room to talk privately, where Picard and Durkin are good at being diplomatic at each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, maybe Durkin didn't stab his way into power then. Maybe he is actually a diplomat.
Durkin's worried they've come as conquerors, but Picard says that if they want them to leave, they'll just leave. It's fine. You can say.
Yeah.
They will not and cannot interfere with their planet's development in any way. It's their most basic and important rule.
Yeah, and hopefully you've not lost anyone on our planet who maybe been injured is now causing a fuss. That'd be really awkward because it might actually cause some interference in our development.
Yeah.
Right?
So they have a nice meeting. Then we're back at the hospital, where Riker's well enough to get up and try to escape. He's about to break a window, and then a nurse or somebody who just wandered in off the street, I don't know, comes in and warns him not to go out that way because there's guards. This is Linnell. She knows he's an alien. She wants to help him escape, but first she's always wanted to fuck an alien.
Yep. So, Riker, you got a weird, creepy fangirl. What do you do?
Yeah, Riker says, hey, no, maybe we could just escape. She says, no. If you don't sleep with me, I'm not going to help you.
Well, Riker, pull an Ivanova here. You start dancing around, and when she asks what you're doing, say, I'm making love to you. This is how my people make love.
Yeah, I've definitely seen this with, okay, let's just hold hands. Was that good for you?
And, okay, maybe you have to touch foreheads for a few seconds, and then you're like, achoo! Okay, we're good.
So they do whatever behind the doors, and then she goes out and sends the guards away so Riker can head to the side door, but he's just seen and attacked and beaten until Burrell interrupts, and they make his injuries worse, so he's going to die, and they take him to surgery, and also call the government because now this has gone too far.
Yeah, Dr. Nilrem here, you kind of decided that, being violent to my patient is more important than, healing them.
Yeah.
You're a bad doctor.
Seems like most people on this planet are terrible.
Yeah.
Just generally. They keep talking about it. It's like everybody on this planet would not like us. Everyone on this planet would react negatively to our arrival. They're uniquely ill-suited to be anywhere near aliens.
And even Marasta is like, yeah, our ideology is that we're the supreme beings of the universe and the center of the universe, and, so we're awesome and nothing else can compare. So, it might be awkward to meet other people out there.
This particular one, where they're like, this incredibly xenophobic society that thinks no one else can exist or be as smart as them. Maybe for this one, we should figure out where they're sending their, first warp probe thing. And then just have a guy there. And then when the probe thing arrives, you wave and go like, hi, welcome to space.
Do you want to hang out, or do you want to go back home and tell your people, it's scary out there? Either one works for us. It's fine.
So Durkin's having a staff meeting about how there's aliens. Kroll is convinced they are here to take over because it's what he does. Marista thinks he's being paranoid. Durkin thinks he's being paranoid. Kroll goes, well, what about the spy that I've found in the hospital? Ha ha!
What spy? Oh, yeah, the spy.
Yeah.
Crap.
Marista tells Durkin that she tried to hide Riker, and it's her fault, so they should let Picard help him. But Durkin lets Kroll go interrogate Riker instead.
Well, this can't end terribly, right?
No, it's fine. It's not any of those things where it's like, if you give him the wake-up drugs, it'll kill him. That kind of thing,
Are you sure? Because there seems to be some doctors having issues here.
So Kroll goes to the hospital to do his interrogating. Riker's still knocked out. Burrell refuses to wake him up because it might kill him, so Kroll is stalled for the moment.
Maybe Burrell should, call up the chancellor and say, hey, your dude's trying to kill our patient. Could you tell him not?
Yeah, it would probably maybe be helpful.
Yeah, but I guess Dr. Burrell's too busy with other patients or something. Or
whatever he does.
Yeah, the doctors that beat him up, so...
Picard visits Durkin. Durkin's upset that they found Riker. Picard explains that they spy on planets, but they don't agree it's all great. It's a difficult compromise, but it's probably worth the risk to avoid really disastrous first contacts like they had with the Klingons that led to decades of war. So we know what started the Klingon War now.
It was not knowing enough about Klingons.
Yeah, they bumped into the Klingons. They said, sorry. They said, you have dishonored my family.
Sorry. You apologize. That angers my family. What do I have to do now to make you less angry? Asking me how to make me less angry makes me angry.
Eat Gok now. That's alive. How dare you?
You've dishonored my Gok and my family now.
It was my mother's Gok recipe.
How do you make a recipe for Gok? Well, it's how you raise it.
They seem to have some kind of sauce.
Yeah.
Like, they always look like they're being served in some sort of sauce.
Maybe the gawk tries to eat the sauce and it slows it down enough so you can pick it up.
I mean, you could also, depending on the thing, like when you raise insects for food, you gut load them with what you want them to taste like. So maybe you feed the gawk specific things so that they taste better.
This one tastes like mustard.
So Picard says he made a mistake and Hova won't upset things too much. And Durkin goes, well, I like that you can make mistakes. And Picard goes, ho, yeah, can I?
Yeah, there's this one time I mocked this Ultra being, and he sent us a few thousand light years away, and we ran into some cyborgs that decided to invade us. Yeah, that was a bit of a whoopsie there.
I told a god to fuck off because I found him annoying, and it basically destroyed all of humanity's space fleet.
Yeah, so, this mistake is, it's one of the minor ones, really.
Dragon says they need to talk later, so, yeah. So Krolla has Burrell removed from the head of the hospital, so the second in line can be the little dick he is and wake up Riker with drugs so that they can interrogate him.
Aren't you the guy that beat me up?
Yeah.
No.
You were hallucinating because of your injuries. Marasta heads to Durkin's office where she tries to convince him to let Picard help. Durkin is really mad at her, but he needs her for the warp flight stuff. But you're probably right, though. We probably shouldn't let Riker die.
All right. Let's send a real doctor in there to make sure he's not going to die.
Yep. So back in the hospital, Krolla's gotten to the if you're here in peace, why do you have a gun argument that they always use for this.
Well, it's not a gun, it's a shaver, actually. Let me show you.
Yeah. They always think that's such an airtight thing. Like, if you come in peace, why do you have a defensive weapon? Why didn't you just show up, kneel down, and say, hey, I come in peace. Please kill me if you want. Yeah.
The terminally paranoid, though, don't tend to think about things from other people's perspectives. So,
Krolla knows that Durkin's too into the space stuff, so he's going to kill himself with the phaser so that it looks like Riker killed him, and that will lead to them to fight so that they can't do diplomacy. So he does that right before Crusher and her medical team beam into the room. Everyone's very, very okay with people appearing out of thin air.
Well, maybe they're big fans of magic tricks on this planet, and so people just appearing and disappearing is like a normal thing for them?
Yeah, they're like, oh, sure, I guess.
Yes.
Ta-da!
Or alternatively, there's a large contingent of ninjas that live here, and people vanishing and appearing is just kind of normal from that.
They take both Riker and Krolla back up to the ship. Durkin and Marasta head to sickbay to see Krolla and Riker. Riker's been saved, even though he's on the edge of death. And Krolla was never in any danger because the phaser was on stun because it's a defensive weapon.
Yeah, it's a good thing we fixed that defect from Star Trek 6 where close-range stun weapons could actually kill people, because otherwise, you'd be dead.
Yeah, well, it's been like 100 years. It's fine.
We learned to power down the energy output just a little bit here.
Krolla wakes up, begs Durkin not to start diplomatic relations. Later, Durkin says that this has made him see that his people aren't actually ready for this, so they need to wait and slow down until they're more prepared for this new world of spaceflight.
Yeah, so maybe, I don't know, get rid of Krolla, because he's kind of terrible, and, it's good maybe to have someone with a little paranoia be your head of security, but this guy is way over the top.
Yeah, what segment of the population is this guy representing?
Yeah. The xenophobic, industrialist faction or something like that. I don't know.
So Ministra asks if she can stay. Durkin says, yeah, I mean, she'd be really unhappy because she won't be allowed to do space stuff and I'll have to really restrict her on the planet. And so Durkin prepares to leave. They prepare quarters for Ministra. And Durkin says that they hope that it'll get resolved enough that he and Picard can see each other again in his lifetime.
All right. Well, that'd be kind of cool. Maybe we should do a follow-up episode to this at some point.
No, we're never going to hear these people again.
No. Also, they're apparently around 2,000 light years from Earth, so it takes a whole year just to get here. So, yeah.
Kind of surprised they never did a follow-up just so they could do a lower decks version of the Area 51 stuff.
Yes.
That's fine. I guess they did it with Little Green Men and
yes.
DS9.
Which is a fun genre picture that is a not quite a DS9 picture, but it is very much a 50s or 60s aliens showing up picture.
Yeah, that's not bad. It's very, very contingent on whether you find the Ferengi funny.
They can be, I'd say, but we could talk about that later.
And that's First Contact, the thing where they said that maybe don't do progress if Krull is going to kill himself. I don't know. Honestly, if they could say, if you do progress, all of the bigoted xenophobes are going to kill themselves, they're like, I don't want them to, but like, I'm honestly not. I don't feel like that's a good reason to not do this, though.
I do think, Durkin being more of a, it's like, maybe I should be thinking about this more beyond Krolla in terms of how these folks will react, because they might not all be suicidal. They might decide to, I don't know, try to overthrow our government, and that's me. So maybe I don't want that to happen.
I don't know. It keeps making me think of that thing a few years ago where they said they couldn't actually arrest Trump for any of the crimes he did because his supporters might get violent.
Yeah, that was stupid.
That was
really stupid. Yeah. It's like, oh no. Why are you bowing to public pressure to not carry out the law here? So all that nonsense about originalism from conservative justices and things like that, about the rule of law and stuff. So that was not just, kind of only playing lip service, but like you actually just abjectly disbelieve that stuff. Okay, got it. Yeah.
The whole argument is, here's an entire group of people that did an incredibly violent thing to try to overthrow proper democratic power. But if we punish them for it, they might do a violent thing.
Well, that's on them in that case.
Which, is not logic we use anywhere else, right? You don't go, that person robbed a store, and if we arrest him, he might hit someone. So
yeah, or one of his friends might rob a different store because they still need money for whatever.
Arguably, the world would be a little better if we did that. Yeah, because ACAB, but...
there is, if we're going to have certain standards of how we operate our justice system here, let's at least be consistent.
Consistency is not really our
sucks. Manuel Kant will be very upset with us, I think.
Yeah. So do you want to keep talking about how screwed we are because of politics, or do you want to talk about how we underrepresent and make comedies out of male sexual assault?
Well, we haven't really touched too much other than going at the latter. So, let's talk about that a little bit. Yeah, sexual assault, no matter who's involved, is bad. It's violation of people's bodily autonomy, and it's a crime against a person. Doesn't matter what their gender is. Come on, Linnell.
We constantly downplay and make a joke out of sexual assault against men. Mostly because we're incredibly uncomfortable with the idea that men can be disempowered in that way. Mm-hmm. Not only that, in fact, under a proper heteronormative patriarchal system, a man who is disempowered in that way is no longer even a man. So logically, you don't even have to worry about it because it didn't happen to a man. It happened to a whiny little bitch.
And thus, because they're not a man anymore, we can prosecute it. And all that. But also they're a whiny little bitch, so who cares, right?
This is like an old style of feminist thinking that kind of went out of favor for some reason. Like, the patriarchy negatively affects everyone involved. Men are just as likely to be depersoned by the patriarchy as women are. It just happens in slightly different ways and for slightly different reasons. But we're very willing to say this man is not a human anymore, and therefore we don't have to care about them, because they don't fit into the norms of the system. Or even if they do fit into the norms of the system, and the system just finds it useful to dehuman them at the time to perpetuate itself or achieve its own ends.
Yeah, so it's very much the system is more focused on perpetuating itself as a cloud of social, political, and cultural sort of mishmash of various elements here, rather than actually serve the people that are involved in it. That kind of means it's maybe a bad thing.
Yeah, so people get confused. I feel like when you talk about the patriarchal system or any of these power systems, you get a little confused because it's like, if it's not serving somebody, why does it exist? So it must be serving the people in charge. So to say that it negatively affects everyone must be wrong, or an oversimplification or something. But it makes more sense to me to think about something like this as a virus. It's self-perpetuating, and it doesn't necessarily serve a purpose for the host organism. But it is violently self-perpetuating.
Yes. And if you try to resist it, it'll move against you. And if you go with it, you'll find yourself perpetuating it against others who are less interested in participating. And to do otherwise will be that you're on the outs and thus a target as well.
Yes. And saying that we can ignore it in certain cases, like we like doing things like this, or that we could turn it around and weaponize it against people, which is something that I see a lot. What if the patriarchy negatively affected men? They'd get rid of it. Nah.
Well, it does affect men, but in such a way that men are supposed to like it.
Yeah, men are supposed to like it, or the men that it does affect are also disempowered by the system. So the fact that they're being negatively affected by it and want it to change doesn't matter as much because they're being negatively affected by the system.
So there's sort of a loop here that just kind of self feeds back on itself here, so that you are either being negatively affected in an overt fashion or implied fashion, you could say, a potential fashion here.
So this particular instance is saying that this kind of coercive sexual assault, where this person has particular power over Riker in several places. One, she's a hospital employee, where he is a patient, which is a power dynamic. She is a native to a planet that he's not, which is another, you could kind of compare that to a racial power dynamic in some ways. It's not a good one-to-one, but... And he's severely injured.
Yep.
He's also, technically a criminal at this point, because he's trying to escape from people who want to do harm to him if he does the things that they don't like him to do.
There's also maybe something to be said about, he wants to be reasonable in his interactions with people, but she is being overtly unreasonable in what she wants and what her reasoning is in terms of soliciting him. So it's you could try to talk her down from this, but it's obviously not going to work because she's kind of being stubborn about all this too. So it's this is a dead end on multiple fronts, and she has all the power in the situation. So, what are you going to do, Riker? Are you going to try to just ignore her, or are you going to conform with her desires and have a chance to get out of there, to escape the system?
So I think that, they turn it into a joke, and that's bad. And that's the way that a lot of this stuff is perpetuated towards men, because assaulting a man is always a joke, because a man's always let himself be assaulted, because men are strong and able to fight it off if they actually wanted to, etc. So it's always a joke, and it's always played off as a joke, which is one of the reasons that we don't take it seriously and never actually talk about it.
And it gets even more absurd when you hear about teenage boys who are sexually assaulted by women in their lives, teachers or family members, and it's this boy got lucky at such a young age.
Where were those teachers when I was in school?
Yeah, on all that sort of ickiness, and it's no, they were raped. They were sexually assaulted. This is not okay. But because they're guys, it's now to be played off and not taken seriously.
Now, I was talking about this with someone before, and they had an interesting point that this is bad, and you shouldn't pretend that it's not bad. But there's an interesting thing to look at with the way that we're currently trying to dismiss all media if it has a outdated and negative portrayal of something, that it's kind of interesting, especially even with this. Before I rewatched this episode, I kind of remembered this as more of a just jokey thing than it was. I wouldn't have gone in saying this was terrible. I remembered it being a little lighter than what it actually turned out to be.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that is because the episode is doing an interesting thing where this is completely unnecessary to the episode in any way. It's a dumb joke they put in. It's a dumb, unnecessary joke they put in that wouldn't have changed anything if they took it out, wrote it better, did some other thing. Which you can kind of see, while it is bad and should be called out for being bad, you can see that the intentions behind it were not necessarily terrible or malicious. They were more ignorant and uninformed. Where if you contrast it with something like the original series Enemy Within, where the entire plot is, how dare you accuse the captain of sexual assault? Let's browbeat you until you stop accusing the captain of sexual assault. Let's gaslight you into thinking you weren't sexually assaulted. And that's the majority of the episode.
Yeah. Yeah, this is kind of night and day. Both are terrible, but, in terms of, the focus and emphasis, this is, being played off, while that was like, this is kind of a through line for the entire episode.
This was a dumb, ill-informed, bad joke. Like all of the anti-gay jokes from 90s media. It's like I could watch that and I go like, that's bad. I don't get the sense that this person is putting it in out of like true maliciousness and hatred towards gay people. Like it's bad and it's ill-informed. It was the style at the time. And we shouldn't...
Dang onions.
That's not to say that we shouldn't call that out, but it's a very different thing to talk about than something that is, here is something that like borders on anti-gay propaganda.
Yeah, there's definitely degrees here, and how much time and effort we take to circle the problems here. I suppose there's a certain obligation of how much we should be sort of wasting our time on some things compared to making sure we spend enough time on other things that are actually problematic.
Because I think you wouldn't even need much of a rewrite on this one. Honestly, I think she should say she's always wanted to sleep with an alien. Riker should protest a little bit. She can do the like, well, we would have enough time. It's not that big of a deal. Not do the like, I will fully not help you if you don't sleep with me. Just do some light back and forth, and then have Riker give like a look to the camera, and then just cut to the end and make it very ambiguous whether he decided it was worth having sex with the alien woman.
I'd go maybe a step further in the, Riker, she maybe even explicitly solicits him, and then he goes, wait a moment, you're not actually a doctor here. And then before she can even, try to protest or prove that she is, he marches out of the room and says, help, I'm being assaulted. And then people show up to deal with her, and while they're distracted, he sneaks out.
I kind of like keeping the original, like, intended joke. Well, I've always wanted to sleep with an alien. She says, I don't. And it's like, well, we don't have time. I have to escape. And she's like, yeah, you're right. But it could be fun, though.
Yeah. Or maybe she offers to go with him or something like that. And it's like, well, maybe later we can have some time. And it's like, all right, I'll meet you at this corner in a couple hours. How about that? Wink. So, did we get through it?
Mostly, yeah.
Okay, all right. Shall we move on to how we, the people of Earth, might deal with aliens showing up?
I mean, I think that it's interesting that, like, this is probably not how we deal with aliens showing up.
Probably. I suppose to have this exact situation where there's maybe some small group of people in the know about faster than light tests that are coming up or something like that, being approached by some outside force. It's like, hey, we exist and we're just giving you a heads up sort of thing like we have here, would probably be maybe the softest way to go forward. But there might also be a certain level of, oh gosh, I'm the president, and one of my advisors has just brought some non-cleared obvious aliens into my office. I need to call security right now to, deal with this. That would probably actually happen. So Durkin's kind of like super chill about this in the episode. So I think that's not how things would actually play out.
I feel like it's really difficult to predict what, like, let's say, as the episode would probably predict, that, the United States has to deal with this. I can't think of how in the world we as a society or a government would even begin to deal with the fact that someone might have a more powerful military than we do.
Yeah.
It's like just not happening. Like, we haven't had to deal with that in like 60 years.
It's like, so having more guns, tanks, airplanes, ships, and ICBMs, that's not enough now. Do we have any X-ray lasers handy, maybe? That's not enough either. even if they were feasible, crap. What do we do? How do we stand up to this? How do we assert our sovereignty against this overwhelming power, independent of if they're being friendly or not?
Yeah, what would they even do? Even if the aliens came, when, like, we have no threat to you, it's fine. The very fact that they are, like, interstellar capable means that they could wipe our entire military off the map whenever they wanted. And I don't think we'd be able to deal with that fact.
Yeah, unless you're using very specific sort of forms of FTL, any sort of interstellar travel is going to require the use of a lot of energy. And if you have the power to manipulate energy on that scale, you are able to wipe out large sections of a planet's surface pretty easily. And the only reason it's not, the entire planet's surface is that you have to wait until you get to the other side of the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is very much it sort of inspires a choice. Do you view these aliens as a incoming existential threat that must be fought against? Do we hope for the best that everything will just turn out okay? Do we surrender, or do we pretend that they're not here and hope that the general public doesn't find out?
Maybe that.
Yeah. The Stargate option it is.
I mean, given what we did in Vietnam, we probably fight a drawn-out, protracted, bloody, and losing war and pretend we're winning the whole time.
Mm-hmm. It's American tradition at this point, right?
Yeah. It's very unfortunately American tradition. We do it all the time. It's what we did after 9/11 when the only time a foreign entity has been able to significantly damage anything on U.S. soil. And everyone went collectively crazy.
Now let's go hang out in Afghanistan and have, let ourselves get talked into another war over in Iraq, even though it's not really involved in 9/11 at all. And we're just going to be sitting there and fighting people for a decade plus now for little reason after the initial sort of pushes. Yeah. So, this sucks. But, I suppose in terms of trying to get into a fight with people that can just leave our planet and, we can't even reach them, it does kind of end up perhaps in a situation where if they did strike us, the damage is here, and they could either continue striking us, they could try to take over, or they could leave. Any of these are, potentially viable options for them, given their power disparity going on. It kind of then comes down to what do they actually want? And, well, if it's they're here for resources or something like that, and this is the only planet they know of that they can get, ruthenium or something like that, that would probably suck, because that means we're going to be they'll be putting us into the mines or something like that, or perhaps just ignoring us and sending down huge hulking machines to tear up large sections of, what used to be farmland or something like that. And our, quote, war against them will be, we keep shooting missiles at them or trying to infiltrate, but, they got super advanced energy shields or materials that are resistant to, nuke blasts, so we don't really know how to actually fight them. And so we might spend decades trying to figure out how to bypass their technology. And maybe that will work, or perhaps we'll all be dead by the side effects of their extraction operations. If alternatively they're actually here just to be like, hey, we're just saying hello, then we're maybe in a position where, we don't have to actually fight them. We might end up doing it anyway because we're humans and sometimes silly things happen, to put it lightly, I suppose. And so we attack them and then they leave. And that's kind of it until we go and bother them. In which case they might come back and be like, all right, you guys are causing problems because you're attacking us still. We're going to remove your industrial base. Good luck rebuilding that in the next few centuries. There is maybe an alternative, the Columbus Day option, where it's like, oh, we need warm bodies to go fight our forever wars over here. We're going to start conscripting you, and you're going to like it because we totally defended you against these actual bad guys. Yeah, for realsies. And never mind that you might never see all these soldiers again. Yeah, they might have just gotten completely wiped out on this alien planet because, you have to believe us since we're the only people that can get from here and there. So, that'll be terrible. There's other options, of course, in terms of what the motivation is for these outsiders. And if we are looking to get into a fight with them, it is kind of silly. So, perhaps one of the alternatives to take is, as you said, the try to pretend they don't exist and hope for the best. Which, as I mentioned, was the Stargate option for the series generally. Like, yes, occasionally things kind of bled over onto the Earth side of things, and it's like, there's a certain sort of, I guess, almost class by the end of the series of folks that were in the know. It's like, we have this amazing new technology that we totally came up on our own here via, stuff coming from the Air Force over here. We totally invented this new medical technique and the ability to create exact human duplicates and, all this other zany stuff going on here. And, this is totally normal human technology, totally. And, so there is sort of a certain group of folks that's like, this is obviously alien tech that we've gotten from somewhere. They're just not telling us where. But other than that, we got a situation where most of the Earth is completely unaware that there's a bunch of spaceships flying around, including sometimes in orbit shooting at us. So, that's a thing.
I always liked Stargate's interpretation of the government, but definitely not try to admit this, but I always figured they got very unrealistic with the level of actual government conspiracy they were able to pull off. I don't think people in the military are that competent.
Nope. I've met some highly competent folks in the military. There is limits even to that, sorry. It's like, here's a spaceship that came in over a movie set, and it's played as a joke here, but, there are people who are not part of the movie production who are probably going, that's an alien spaceship, and I'm not hallucinating because, I'm not the director.
Do you know how many nukes we just don't know where are?
Oh, plenty. Was it North Carolina that's just in a bog somewhere?
Mm-hmm. It's we have the military. We have the largest military in the world, by far, by orders of magnitude. And we have the most deadly weapons ever created by humankind. And we're just we don't need to keep track of those.
Yeah. It's a certain level of, we just try to make sure we keep the numbers right, and someone forgot to carry.
And you're you're telling me that I'm supposed to believe these people who can't keep track of the most devastating weapons ever created on the planet can build a miles-long spacecraft in the middle of nowhere and keep it completely secret from everyone forever? Can start doing intergalactic space missions with warp drives and teleporters and aliens, and not a single person on the planet ever found out about it because the military is just that good?
There is the other pressure, though, is the eagerness of human ignorance, though. That there is going to be some segment of the population that completely believes the party line in terms of, this. All of this is just, rumors and conspiracy theories and nonsense. The real enemies are, those folks over there. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that always happens.
Yeah. And so you might have, quote, in the modern day of the Stargate universe, a situation about half the planet is very aware that we are doing something involving aliens in some way. It's not clear exactly what it is or how extensive, but there's been enough signs that it's pretty dang obvious. And the rest are just completely in denial about it because their authority figures of interest have told them it's not true.
Yeah, I think there's a very good chance that you could have the government is fully transparent about the aliens and the spaceships and the space war and whatever, and there's a whole segment of the population going, this is just a distraction from the immigrants.
Yes. and for that sort of thing, it's, completely independent of the government being actually open or not about it. It's we had full disclosure for 15 years, guys. Why don't you believe this is true? It's not true, though.
I saw something. I was watching a thing earlier, and the person said, like, I don't believe in a lot of conspiracy things, like ghosts and whatever. But, like, aliens are, like, almost certainly real. The government's having hearings about UFOs now. It's like, so now you think the government's competent? It's like, of all the things, like, well, the government admitted there's UFOs. Like, why the hell do you think the government's right about anything?
I think for the UFO one, it is, I guess, more informative that, yeah, they're having hearings because they don't know what they are and they're getting interested. It's like, okay, so them realizing after so many decades, oh, we might not actually know what we're doing, that's maybe a sign that they actually just don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
That UFOs are potentially really a phenomenon that is beyond our understanding, and only now are we realizing, oh yeah, the government is finally coming to terms with the fact that we don't know everything.
Are the UFOs the Epstein files?
They might as well. Some disclosure, some not disclosure. Yeah, that kind of fits the pattern there. Selective censorship.
Yeah, this is the government that tried to censor the Epstein files with a layer that you can remove in Photoshop. Yeah. These are the people I'm supposed to believe are hiding aliens from me.
They're also the people we're supposed to believe, did 9/11, that conspired to kill Kennedy, that, did all these other things here. Yeah, these are, totally the most competent people we've ever encountered. Yeah.
I was randomly... So when I was younger, I was training to be a firefighter in Arizona. And I never got to actually do anything because I had a back injury that kept me from being able to apply to stuff for a few years. But I was doing the training. And so I had coincidentally learned a lot about how fires work. And one of my parents' friends started trying to talk about all of the 9/11 conspiracies. And he just comes out with this stuff. It's like, oh my God, did you know that like jet fuel doesn't even burn hot enough to melt steel? And I was like, well, because of the confined spaces and the ways that things, heat up in a weird house fire, mechanically, like even a normal house fire can get hot enough to melt metal. It's actually really interesting.
Yeah, it's a killing effect.
And every single thing he came out with is like, oh yeah, I just learned that.
It's like, why did the building collapse like this? Well, there's this sort of thing
because it's designed to. It's like, why didn't it fall over sideways? Like, why would it?
There's no momentum.
What direction did you want it to fall over? Skyscrapers are designed to be actually fairly unable to fall over sideways. It's one of their key features, in fact.
Like, well, why did the dust start showing up here? Well, there's this pancaking thing going on the floors once the first few started collapsing, where the exterior of the building doesn't collapse inward until there's no support for it to not be resting against.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's ways to describe all of these things. You just don't want to know.
Yeah. You want to be hanging out in your ignorance, man. You're going to believe all the conspiracies because the real conspiracies are too mind-bending for you, man.
I've tried to work on it. When I was in my early 20s, I was still had this habit of speaking with an intense sense of authority too. So it's like I had just learned shit. My entire demeanor was like, no, I know this. It's kind of interesting to watch a conspiracy theorist not be able to answer your shit. Yeah. Like, what about this? Like, oh, it's exactly this thing. It's like,
really? Yeah, you got, how's a fireplace work? You got materials here, and here, and that sort of keeps the, radiated heat from, going away from you. Instead, comes towards you. It's good stuff here. Oh, huh. I guess thermodynamics is a thing. I didn't think that was possible. Yeah. One of my favorite things about the classes I teach is that sometimes I get to answer fun questions, but usually they're not because they're conspiracy theory minded, but they're actually just kind of, I've never understood how this works. Like, oh, this is actually a physics thing I can talk about. Hooray! So anyway, if unidentified flying objects are actually aliens, that's pretty cool. But they should also maybe come talk to people that are more interesting than whoever's in charge right now. AKA, space aliens, come talk to me, Gepwin, and we'll have a round table of discussion. Hopefully we can get some sort of translation thing sorted out, and yeah.
Yeah, that'd be very cool. Interesting. This episode, they said, we trust a scientists because we find that they're better able to accept our existence. Like, now we go find the Monster Fucker fandom community.
Yep. The folks that are totally about us, the xenophiles, as it were, of the various sorts here. And, we'll see how that rolls, and we have to go. Consent is still a thing. We're not going to be letting anyone pull an L here, but for everybody else, we're going to be cool. All right, let's have first contact in more ways than one.
I fully believe that's the most realistic part. I fully believe we'd have a lot of people on Earth going like, yeah, but when can I fuck them though?
Yeah. There'd probably be a whole cultural hoopla as well about, even though they can communicate with us and, fly spaceships, to sleep with one of these, creatures from beyond the moon, it's an abomination. It's no better than zoophilia or something like that. And it's like, no, they're people. They can give consent. We can communicate with them. We can figure out if they're of maturity, all that, good Harkness test stuff here. Yeah. Chill out.
I was reading that's one of someone had a thing that's why the Pokemon things are not actually bestiality.
They might have limited vocabulary, but they do have vocabulary.
Yeah, they have full sentience and are fully capable of consenting and communicating their desires.
I'll leave that one on the shelf though for myself, because I know folks that are on both sides of the I guess debate there, I suppose. So I don't want to be pissing off my friends.
I'm just saying, anyway. I've read this. I find it a compelling and interesting argument. I am not in that community personally.
So I suppose I also have friends who have OCs that are robots. And as in, not like data androids, but this is like a luggage handling machine that's aware and can communicate with people. In terms of that sort of interpersonal relationships, though, things get a little bit more complicated and tricky, so you don't, get your fleshy bits, mangled. Anyway.
The robot, the BoJack Horseman CEO robot. Did you see that? They had the sex robot that got made CEO because he kept saying sex things.
No, I have not. I might have to check this out.
They made a sex robot, and it keeps rolling into offices like, I want to be on top of you. It's like, that is some good lateral thinking. Let's promote this robot.
Promotion? Does that mean I get to be on top? Yes. Excellent. I guess that makes sense, yes.
BoJack Horseman is one of the best satires of American culture that's been made in the last, 50 years.
So we need a crossover with Star Trek now so we can talk about it more.
Anyway, that's probably... We've probably strayed from the topic quite a lot.
But yeah, this is a good episode. Check it out. It's good stuff.
It's now probably time for the Galaxy's favorite game show!
Hey everybody, welcome to the Galaxy's favorite game show. We got various contestants here, and, one of them's eyeing me up in a funky sort of way, but I'm going to ignore that for the moment, so that we can start handing out some of the prizes to our winners today. The first one is the Are We the Guest Stars, which goes to the Enterprise crew as they play mysterious space people to the locals, who are the main characters today. What do they win, Gepwin?
They win really good craft services. They didn't have craft services for the first season of this show, and now they don't even have to do anything, so they can just hang around, enjoy the donuts, and whatever else they were able to get now that they're an actual popular, functional, and funded series. They deserve it.
Excellent. I wonder if Teal'c will show up to help provide some, get some native Chulak dishes in there too. Anyway, our second prize is the Awkward Cover Story Prize, which goes to Riker for its explanation for why he has fingers and toes, and it's not just wiggling at them, wheeling them at the locals here. What does he win, Gepwin?
Again, they win those belts that they kept having in the cartoon. We need those belts back. They introduced the force field belts. They would solve so many problems.
Oh no, I've been hit over the head. Well, I don't actually feel it. Just sort of a general push sort of
That would
sensation.
be such a better way to do this. Like, you're wearing a force field belt when you're on the dangerous planet.
Yep. It's like, oh, you have a slight glowiness to you. Don't worry about it. I'm just slightly radioactive. You might want to stand over there. Our third prize is To Die is Logical, which goes to Security Minister Krola for thinking it would be a great idea to die to keep those spooky aliens away from his planet. What does he win, Gapwin?
He wins very conveniently and off-screen disappear later. His government people stopped liking him anymore. And this is what happens to weird paranoid conservatives who aren't useful.
So, put him, have him have a nice posting on your planet's equivalent of Iceland or something like that. Or, like, not the place part of Iceland where people actually live, like a radio station in the middle of the mountains. Anyway, our final prize today is the Get Me Out of Here prize, which goes to Maresta Yale for not wanting to remain at home on her home world there, and where she'd be unable to work or talk about all these amazing things she's seen, and basically her life would be over. So, get me off this planet, everybody. What does she win?
She gets the sequel to Data's Day, where she goes like, hey, what about this neutral zone I keep hearing about? That'd be fun to see. Oh no, I've been kidnapped by the Romulans, and then a suspiciously familiar-looking Romulan commander shows up later.
Oh, it's you, Commander Terrace. And so, we've come full circle, and now we've not only pushed one Romulan spy into back to the Romulans, but now two. Dun dun dun. That's all I got here for today, Gapwin. Feel free to take us away.
Yes, thank you, everyone, for joining us here on the Galaxy's favorite game show.
Bum 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. I don't know why I had that song in my head. But
the next time is peak Star Trek weird silly shit.
Yep.
And I love it. I'm going to be defending Geordi in this because people get mad at Geordi for no reason for this episode, even though Geordi did nothing wrong.
I will maybe not go that far myself. I do feel him being clueless in a very terminal fashion. And there's also problems with the other character he's being clueless with, but, there's some blame to go around.
Geordi developed a parasocial relationship, and he didn't do anything weird or creepy about it. Like, people keep acting like he's the one who programmed the computer to give him, like, a sex doll in somebody's likeness or something, but they didn't. He didn't. The computer just, made a weird lovey-dovey speech at him out of nowhere. He didn't tell it to do that.
He maybe should have still, it's like, computer, delete this character for now. This is getting kind of weird. But we also got, critters hanging out on the ship's hull with some CG-ness and things like that.
It's so ridiculous. We got Galaxy's Child, where we have to understand weird space thingy behavior and do a C-section.
Space C-sections. Say that 10 times fast.
Really gross-sounding milk metaphors.
Yes. We're going to make it bitter or something like that. That sounds weird. Okay, I guess. And we'll have the Enterprise finally obtain its lifetime goal of becoming a mom.
Yeah, and more of these space critters, which are just... they have all these space critters hanging around that just live in space, and you see them so infrequently. It feels like there's just like whales hanging out. Like, you just see them around because they seem to be all over the shop. They obviously can't move that fucking fast.
Yep. It's like sort of one of those things where it's like, maybe they hang out, most of their lifetime between stars and come in when they're, needing to mate or are looking to pick up certain, minerals or food or whatever. And then the rest of the time, they're just kind of hanging out between stars at a nice, good distance away. So you only run into them when you're doing interstellar space stuff here. And so when you're doing that, it's like, yeah, we need to adjust our course. We got another space whale situation. And that would be kind of a cool thing to add verisimilitude to the universe.
There's so many space whales, which I agree. It is like 50% of the encounters I get in Stellaris.
Yeah. Yeah. Stellaris has, it's kind of really directly pulling some ideas from this next episode here.
Stellaris is all space whales.
Yes. Or crystalline entities.
Yeah. Space whales and crystalline entities and crystal space whales and that one big dragon thing that you can get a spaceship upgrade by killing.
Yeah. And they're like the variant from one of the DLCs, I think, as well. Of course, there's the various beings from beyond all sense and reason, and the Shroud stuff there. And I guess there's a reason I kind of dislike it when too much psychic powers enters my sci-fi. It just becomes magic.
Yeah, it just gets weird. I have to stop playing Stellaris. It's like $500 to get all the fucking DLCs now.
Yes. It's like, all right, I've already sunk cost into several of the DLCs here, but to get the rest, I don't know, man. Some of these are like look interesting, but the other ones, like, I don't know. But then again, I have all the, big DLCs for EU4. Anyway.
So yeah, that's next week is not Stellaris, but space whales and milk, and Geordi gets maligned because we're very uncomfortable about awkward situations.
Next time on Watchers of Tomorrow, what'd you do to my ship, Geordi? You have been listening to Watchers of Tomorrow, a podcast on science fiction media. Find and listen to Watchers of Tomorrow on Podbean, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Digital Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Google Play, and many more places where podcasts can be found. If you enjoyed our podcast, make sure to subscribe for more. And make sure to rate your experience or leave us a review. You may find Gepwin on YouTube as Gepwin and on Pillow Fort. You may find Dr. Isix, on YouTube and Blue Sky. Music is Waveform and Mori's Principle, both by DRKRN, and Quirky Dog by Kevin MacLeod. Check out the Watchers of Tomorrow Discord channel. You may also find Watchers of Tomorrow on Tumblr. Make sure to share the experience of Watchers of Tomorrow with your friends, loved ones, enemies, alien overlords, and your doppelganger from the mirror dimension. Have a good day, and ahead, warp factor heckin' fast.